On June 6, 1944, more than 160,000 Allied troops landed along a 50-mile stretch of heavily fortified French coastline to fight Nazi Germany on the beaches of Normandy in what is known as D-Day. But the invasion of Normandy was not the only D-Day of World War II. Every amphibious assault in the Pacific theater had its own D-Day. In February of 1945, a 28-year-old radar officer, Lieutenant Wellington Mara, was aboard the aircraft carrier USS Randolph on just such a mission. 16 B-25 Mitchell bombers were sitting ready on the flight deck, poised for an airstrike on Tokyo. And on the eve of the attack, the young Lieutenant Mara penned this letter to his brother Jack.
Dear Jack, it's D-Day -1 for us, and we are clinging tenaciously to the nicest bad weather you ever saw. If this were a Sunday in the fall, we'd say that it surely wasn't Mara weather. The clouds are low, and there are plenty of them, and they cover us like Livingston covered Hudson, like a blanket. Yesterday, the captain told the crew that we were in enemy waters. He said he was proud of the fact that we had reached the combat area so quickly, and that he thought we were ready. It's pretty near kickoff now, and the nerves are getting a little tense. Seems as though we could surely expect something, from a large-scale attack to a snooper or two. It all comes down to that old question, did they spot us? Tomorrow morning, we will know the answer, and if they didn't, it will be tough on them. If they did, it will be tough on us. But I hope it will be tough on them too. Love to all. Well.
The next day, February 16, 1945, the captain and crew of the USS Randolph made military history when they launched the first ever carrier-based attack against Tokyo. Over the next 2 days, bombers also carried out historic missions against Iwo Jima, Chichijima, and Hanajima. The USS Randolph remained in enemy waters through July and early August, making strikes whenever conditions permitted. On July 10th, 8 airstrikes were launched from the deck of the USS Randolph, with a total of 213 separate flights bombing airfields and other targets near Tokyo. It was the biggest day of air operations in the ship's history. On August 15, 1945, 9 days after the United States bombed the city of Hiroshima, Japan surrendered to the Allied forces, bringing an end to World War II. And Lieutenant Mara wrote one final letter to his brother Jack.
Dear Jack, well, tonight has really been something. We have had a really rugged 3 days with very little sleep, and half of that with all of our clothes on, stretched out on the deck. We were really sawing wood at 2142 hours. I'll always remember the time when the PA system announced that Radio San Francisco reported the Japanese were asking for peace. About 15 minutes later, they announced that Tokyo had confirmed it. I said a quick prayer under my breath because I knew something special was coming. I broke out in a cold sweat, and it was just too good to believe. The nearest thing I felt to this was when I heard the team came from behind to tie Philadelphia last year, and when Pascal made that last-minute run against Washington 2 years ago. Home alive in 45, Golden Gate with Captain Tate. I'll stand up on the top side in the same place I stood when we left and get the same view of the gate, coming instead of going out. We'll close now, hoping this finds all okay and the team shaping up. Love to all. Well.
Subsequently, after the war, Arthur Daly of the New York Times published the correspondence, which highlighted not only the drama of wartime, but how close the two brothers were.